it's Tyler. He's your only black friend, so he's your best black friend. I want you treat him more as a black friend, because black friends are rare, as you should be aware. He smiles like Richard Pryor, so just sit and stare. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler.
Hello everybody, this is Tyler Person 20, and so for this video, I'm going to react to a video that's been super viral on Twitter. So the video that I'm going to react to is about a group of students who, support police and were like in a minority-only space. And so what happened was that the students in the minority-only space decided to, record them and of course have some sort of confrontations. And so without further hesitation, I'm going to react to the video and give my two thoughts and opinions about the video at hand.
You have a better. You're offensive. Police lives matter?
You have the same sticker.
We're just trying to do school.
What?
You guys have the same sticker of the other.
But this is our space.
Now, first and foremost, I first want to state that the idea of minority-only spaces goes against the ideas of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King preached the idea that he wants everybody to be judged based upon their skin, not by their character, not by their skin color. And so the idea of segregation of races and college campuses goes against the very idea of Martin Luther King. It goes against the very idea of Rosa Parks. And so to me, when they have separate spaces for minorities only, I'm absolutely against the very idea. Because ultimately, if you want to have a more race-blind society, I think the best way to do it is to integrate everybody. Because ultimately, your race is not the most important aspect of you. The most important aspect of you is actually the content of your character.
We've got a Police Lives Matter sticker and we're getting kicked out. Can't do school. Yeah, you just said we have to leave.
No, I said you're making the space uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
But you're white. Do you understand what a multicultural space? It means you're not being centered.
Now, this whole entire argument about, multicultural space does not include white people is quite funny to me. The main reason why I say that is because literally, of course, white people also have a culture. But later in the video, she claims that they don't have a culture. How could you be a multicultural space where you accept some people, but not all people? If you're really a true multicultural space, you would actually accept people from all backgrounds. And so by saying that only minorities are allowed in multicultural spaces, but not white people, you're literally contradicting your own words. And so it's so stupid to divide people over their race or just because they have a different ideology than you do.
It's not a culture?
No, it's not a culture. It's white is not a culture. Say it again to the camera. You think whiteness is a culture?
Oh, yes. You see, British people don't have a culture. German people obviously don't have a culture. All these, majority white nations in European countries, they don't have their own cultures that are separate and different from each other. No, you see, all white people don't have a culture. It's just, obvious that they don't have some sort of culture that they have.
This is insane.
So anyways, this is the violence that ASU does, and this is the
You don't know the definition of violence because, to me, when you hurt somebody in the physical, that is violence. That's the living definition of violence. And so to say that, of course, somebody going into your little space where apparently there's no white people allowed in a multicultural space and say that it's actually violence for them to actually show up, that is hilarious. I don't see anywhere in the video where these two people are trying to taunt her or fight her So, what kind of violence are you talking about? What are you talking about here?
Type of people that they protect. Okay, this white man thinks he can take up our space, and this is why we need a multicultural space, because they think they can get away with this shit.
I'm gonna sit here the whole time, and you can find somebody to kick
That
me out.
that's cool. We
We're not
will.
kicking you out. We're asking you to leave if you have any consideration for people of color and our marginalized.
So clearly
Is there a room
don't.
that I can go?
Yeah, the whole rest of the campus, the second floor, the first floor, the whole MU, every single part of the campus centers you. This is the only space that you're not centered, and you're still trying to center yourself, which is peak white cis male bullshit.
You know, I'm not racist. I'm just studying.
Oh, you're not.
You are racist. Your sticker is racist because
This is like a really stupid thing to say, that if you happen to support police officers, you're a racist. Now, the definition of racism, as most people know listening to this, is basically, the idea of prejudice against somebody based entirely off of their skin color. Like, so far in the video, from what I've seen so far, I haven't seen any of those two, white people judging these, women based entirely off of their skin color. And so, supporting the police is not necessarily racist per se. Now, there's an argument to be had about, problems within the police system. Obviously, there are issues in the United States when it comes down to police brutality. At the same time, just because a group of people or some people support police does not mean that somehow they just hate minorities.
police, that's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black. Okay? No, you can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge, and you're protecting that shit, which means that you're racist.
Again, it's really obvious that this girl has no idea what is the definition of racism.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to offend you guys or anything.
I know, but this offends us automatically because these people kill people like me and like us, right?
Oh, yeah. The police only just kill minorities. It's not as if, of course, there has been data that shows that, white people also, are like, killed more actually in comparison to black people. No, you see, it's only just minorities for police brutality. It's not all people. It's just the minorities, that are affected the most. You see, this whole entire conversation could be, subtle by acknowledging that, yes, police brutality is not necessarily a race issue. Police brutality, if you want to talk about, the problems within like American police system, ultimately comes down to bad training and other matters. And so I don't think necessarily that race has to do with anything. If anything, they would, go after anybody no matter their race. So
Right? So you're promoting our murderers. So please just don't do that.
Thank you.
So why should that bother you?
Because do you understand that police lives matter was in response to Black Lives Matter?
I pay the same fucking tuition as you.
Yep.
Hold on, but
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
you
And
get
you
more
have
money.
everywhere.
I
You
don't.
have.
I'm working 60 hours a week while going to school because my parents don't just give me money.
But
It doesn't.
Okay, it doesn't.
And that's the whole entire video that I just responded to. But yeah, it is so sad the state of affairs that's been going on in my country when it comes down to race. It's because of ideologies like Black Lives Matter. It's because of ideologies like CRT. It's because of ideologies like anti-racism, which is being applied in all parts of our life. And now people want to have these sort of separate spaces just because they happen to be a different skin color. People are now trying to confront people just because they want to support the police. Now, I don't think necessarily it's all black and white. Obviously, there are some conversations to be had when it comes down to police brutality. At the same time, I don't think that nobody should be confronted over this sort of stuff and not have minority-only spaces. But That's my thoughts. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next